Hi, I'm John. I'm the senior operator here at the airport water reclamation facility, where we treat almost all of the wastewater in the Prescott area. Today I'm going to briefly explain the why and the how. First, the why. The water that's on the planet right now is the same water that's been on the planet since it was created many years ago. And the earth itself is actually designed to filter the wastewater and replenish aquifers, wells, or even go into rivers and then the oceans, which is that part of the water cycle. So what we do is we help the earth replenish clean water faster. The first thing that happens after water goes down your drain or toilets, it travels through pipes and it winds up at a plant like this one. And the first place that it goes is the Headworks, which is the building right here behind me. And what happens here is a screening process in which we remove all large inorganic materials such as twigs, plastics, toys, flushable wipes, etc. Now that we've moved the inorganics from the waste stream at the Headworks, the influent flow then comes here to the aeration basin. And the aeration basin, as its name suggests, is where we add air to the process. Now the air activates microorganisms to actually, in a way, feed on the organic material that's still remaining in the waste stream. There's a combination of the waste stream now with the microorganisms, and that is known as mixed liquor suspended solids, or we call it MLSS. And it's going to look something like this at this point. After the flow leaves the aeration basin, it comes to the clarifier here. In the clarifier, we actually let gravity do a lot of the work. And gravity helps us separate the solids that are in the flow from the clearer liquid. As you can see in this example, this is the sample we just pulled out of the aeration basin. And the solids are here falling to the bottom as the clear rises to the top. The solids consist of what are now inactive microorganisms that have filled up on the organic material in the waste stream back in the aeration basin. They come over here, they go dormant, and they settle to the bottom. What we do then is that we remove it with pumps on the bottom of this tank right here, and we send it to another holding tank, and then it's ran through a centrifuge. The centrifuge removes as much of the liquid from it as possible, and it turns these solids into this cake-like material. At least we call it cake, but you probably don't want to eat it. From there, this cake will be shipped off to landfills, and the clear part here, which as you can see is a huge difference from what you saw earlier that came out of the aeration basin. And once again, it's just using gravity. Okay, now after the clear influent has left the clarifier, it's going to look something like this, in which it has suspended particles still in it. So what we do is we bring it to this filter building, where, as you can see by the filter row here, which consists of multiple panels such as this. And what happens is the flow actually goes through the filter like this to remove those suspended particles. So the flow basically lands on these filters like this, and as you can see how long it takes it to drip through. This is a 10-micron filter, so it's going to catch a lot of small, tiny particles that are almost invisible to the naked eye before it lets it go on to our next process. Now, after the flow has left the filter building, it goes to the last part of the process, which is known as disinfection. Here we disinfect with chlorine, which is the only chemical that's used in the entire process, and we use that to kill any remaining bacteria in the stream. The chlorine's added for a certain amount of time in this basin here, and it kills the remaining bacteria. And it has to go through this process before we can call it effluent, which is a huge contrast to where we started off with. So from here, this effluent's going to leave, and we're actually going to go up to one of our cells and show you how we send it back to our water table. Once our effluent has left our contact basin and has been disinfected fully, it winds up in one of these 5 recharge cells that we have here. The recharge cells, what happens is that it actually percolates or soaks back down into the earth and goes down to monitoring wells that we have, or the water table or aquifers. Now from there, it would be pumped out by a drinking water treatment plant where they would process it, and then it would go back to you, the consumer. So this is how we help the earth itself replenish clean water faster for you to use. I love what I do here because clean water is a necessity throughout the entire planet. And I feel that I'm helping not just the earth, but everyone on it. Thank you for your time.